Hi, and welcome to Fiore News. I'm your host, Leah Fiore, and today we are going to be discussing everything that's happening at Manhattan College. First up, it's been over a year since the coronavirus pandemic went into effect, and it drastically changed people's lives. To give a little update on how everyday people were feeling during this distressing time, the team here at Fiore News had a chance to talk to a current college student and a pharmaceutical employee. Let's take a look.
I work for a pharmaceutical company in a sourcing area, and we've been working remotely since March of this year.
Come here. Okay.
At first it was fine. We thought it was going to be a short-term situation, but actually here we are in December and it's actually ongoing that we are still all working remotely due to the pandemic. What's difficult about working remote when you're in an office job is that it's hard to separate your work and personal life because there's no time to distance yourself from leaving the office and coming home, physically distancing yourself from the office. So it's been very difficult working from home. Even though we've made it work, it's really not been ideal for us to be working constantly at home without any face-to-face office time. Some of the positive things from the pandemic, though, have been from a personal perspective, being able to spend more time with my family, and we also got a dog as part of since we were home all the time, it seemed to be a good time to get a puppy because they require a lot of attention. So that was one of the positive things. But in general, I think from a work perspective, I look forward to being able to go back into the office so I can interact with all my colleagues at work. And I know many of the people I work with feel the same way.
I feel like since COVID, I've been a lot more isolated. I'm depressed, and I think since COVID I normally self-isolate, but since COVID started, it's been more. And I don't have the option to really go see people as frequently, so that's been hard for me. And my academics have been really affected by it because I'm supposed to go and do clinicals, but I can't do that anymore because I'm not a hazard, but I'm a danger to society, I guess. Like every college student, having classes online is kind of difficult because you're not really as engaged in the learning environment. And my boyfriend got it because his roommate partied and gave it to him. So because he's an RA on campus, they made him quarantine for 14 days. I really want to see my grandparents because normally I spend Christmas with them and New Year's, but we can't this year.
Wow, it's so crazy to see how much COVID has affected people's overall mental health and everyday life. Hopefully soon we could get back to the days before the virus emerged. Next, to lighten up things a bit, we have an exclusive interview with a student here at Manhattan College who has a very interesting hobby. Take a look. Hello, and thank you for joining today for a very special interview with Ryan McGinnis, a current student at Manhattan College, and he's studying communications, which is a concentration in media production. One of Ryan's biggest hobbies is that he solves Rubiks Cubes. So, Ryan, thanks so much for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on.
Of course, anytime. So, the first question I wanted to ask was, how old were you when you first picked up a Rubik's Cube?
I was probably about, I would say 8 or 9 when I first tried to solve a Rubik's Cube, but then I gave up just because it was way too hard. But then I would say, I think in 7th grade, when I was in 7th grade, they made kind of a resurgence and everybody started bringing them to school. So at that point, I was just like, okay, I'm actually going to try to learn how to do this. So then, since then, I tried, and then in 7th grade, I was able to.
Nice. Okay. So how long did it take you to really learn how to solve it?
I would say about a week once I started actually sitting down and trying to do it, because I would go on my laptop every night and then just go on YouTube, watch tutorials, write down all the steps, and then practice each step at a time until I memorized that step, and then move from there. So I'd say I learned like a different step each day of the week. So about a week later, I was able to do it without looking at any notes or tutorials or anything.
Okay, cool. So what like made you want to try to pick it up in the first place and try it out?
I don't know. I guess I just saw a lot of people like walking around with them, and people were trying to like solve one side or something. And I thought that was pretty cool, but I thought that would be pretty cool if I was able to actually do the whole thing and do it somewhat quickly. So I guess just seeing everybody walking around with them and trying to solve them kind of pushed me to do it.
Awesome. So thanks so much for being here today. I learned a lot about the Rubik's Cube, and thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye. It's so fascinating to hear about solving Rubik's Cubes. I know for me, the COVID pandemic would probably be over by the time I was able to solve one. Finally, our last bit of news, the movie The Quiet Place 2 is coming out soon in theaters and on the streaming platform Paramount+. The release was delayed due to the virus, but the anticipated sequel should be coming out soon later this year. We were able to receive an exclusive behind-the-scenes look of the film. Here it is.
My character, Evelyn, she is now a single parent, newborn baby, house is destroyed, 2 other children to protect. It's just urgent, and it is like a runaway train, this film.
Cillian Murphy is without a doubt one of the best actors, if not the best actor I've worked with, other than my wife.
Emmett has lost everything and has suffered because of it.
The beauty of Cillian's character, and what I was so excited when I wrote the character, was that there is so much fear in his life, so much loss in his life. He doesn't feel the need to be a part of any community. You know, the truth is, I had no intention of doing a sequel. And yet I think that the power of the world is the thing that makes it so possible to delve into it again.
The fact that he's an actor as well, so he completely understands how actors work. His enthusiasm for the whole process of making a film is infectious.
He's also very open to your ideas, and also he's very, he's a bit of a dad. He's a bit like, he's always looking out for me and Millie.
Every single step that they take is a potential tragedy. In the first movie, there was a system that would keep you safe. In this movie, nothing keeps you safe. So the second movie really is the rules of the first movie without a safety net. Anything can be your demise.
I think they are faced with adversity that is sort of jaw-dropping at times, and it's incredible, and it's all under that tense conceit of if you make noise, you die. And so the room for possibility is just endless.
I know I will be seeing this movie when it comes out. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for tuning in, and once again, I'm your host, Leah Fiore, and I'll see you next time on Fiore News.